OIA is by far Santorini's most famous village. Pretty much every single person visiting Santorini will go to OIA at least once. And the obvious consequence of that is that everything's super expensive in OIA and the quality not always great. So if you plan on having a meal in OIA and you want to make sure you don't end up in a tourist trap, well, this video is made for you. Now, before I start, there's something very important for you to understand. OIA is partially built on the cliff edge, which means that all the restaurants in this area will have a beautiful view, while all the other restaurants more inland won't have any view at all unless it's a rooftop restaurant. And guess where the best food is? Restaurants with the view or without the view? Well, you probably have the answer. The best food is when you have no view. Alright, our first restaurant is called Candouni. It's a very cute and cozy place, great for romantic couples for sure. It's also one of the cheapest restaurants in OIA. But don't jump to conclusions. Something cheap in OIA is probably still more expensive than anywhere else on the island. To give you an idea, one main course at Candouni will cost you around 20 euros. However, if you go to Candouni, main courses should not be what you're aiming at. Candouni is what we call a mesedopolio, meaning a place where we eat mesedes, the Greek equivalent of the Spanish tapas, small portions that we put in the middle of the table and that we share all together. A few examples of mesedes at Candouni or fava, this eggplant puree, fried sardines, or grilled halloumi cheese. Oh, and every other day in the summer, there's live Greek traditional music being played there, which is a very rare thing to find in Santorini. So if you plan on going there, try to make it happen on a day with music. So as you're giving them a call to book a table, ask which days there will be live music. All right, next restaurant. Karma. Now, Karma, as you can see, is a very laid-back place. Probably more suitable for lunch or even breakfast rather than dinner, in my opinion. And talking about breakfast, look, their menu has a whole breakfast and brunch section, both sweet and savory. So if you're staying in OIA, then this is definitely something to keep in mind for your breakfasts or brunches. Main courses are around 15 euros, so it's even cheaper than Candouni. And actually, Karma might just be the cheapest restaurant you will find in OIA. My personal favorites there are the slow-cooked lamb shank and the kadaifi shrimps. For dessert, the homemade baklava with masticha ice cream is really tasty. By the way, Karma is also one of the most vegetarian-friendly restaurants in Santorini, and there are not many of those on the island. So if you are vegetarian or vegan, definitely write this one down. Next, we have Melitini, and once again, this is a mesedopolio rather than a normal restaurant. Amongst their variety of mesedes, you can find this Santorini salad served in a loaf of bread. Also, the very traditional Santorini tomato fritters served with tzatziki sauce, and spezzofai, which are spicy sausages in melted cheese. Once again, it's one of OIA's most affordable places because it's not on the front row of restaurants with the view. But look at this! Despite not being on the cliff edge, you still have this view. And that's because their terrace is located on the rooftop. And you can even catch the sunset from up there. For this price, having both the Caldera view and the sunset view, which are two different things, that's really a massive hidden gem I'm giving you. Alright, before moving on to restaurants number 4 and 5, if you're enjoying all these hidden gems I'm giving you, please send a signal to YouTube that this video should be shown to other users by clicking the like button. Alright, next restaurant, Roka. Now actually, Roka does have a view, but it's not the classic Santorini view with the Caldera cliffs. Roka is definitely more gourmet than all the other places I've mentioned so far, but nevertheless, the prices are surprisingly okay. Around 20 euros for a main course. The portions are not huge though, just have that in mind. My personal favorites are the rooster ravioli and the sciufichta, which are these homemade fresh pasta. And just so you know, they also have one of the most extensive wine selections in OIA, in case you're into wines. And finally, our last restaurant is Fino. This one is also a gourmet place. One main course will cost you around 30 euros, so this one is definitely more expensive than the 4 others we've talked about, but I've still included it in this list because it's so good. I mean, just look at this! Lobster risotto with truffle oil. And then this one is also very unique. Tuna tataki. It's a seared tuna steak, which is then thinly sliced. This is all really amazing stuff. And by the way, something else to keep in mind is that Fino is also a cocktail bar. These cocktails cost around 10 euros, which is a very decent price for Santorini. Alright, one last tip. Make sure to book your table ahead of time, especially if you go there for dinner. Everyone goes to OIA to see the sunset, and then when the sun has set, all these people will want to eat. So don't think you're the only person who wants to have dinner in OIA. So make sure to book a table. You can do this through your hotel, by the way. Hotel receptionists are used to doing that. Okay, so this was for the restaurants in OIA. But what else can you do and see in OIA? Well, the answer is here. And this one, well, remember how earlier I was saying that everyone's going to OIA for the sunset? Well, this is about secret spots to watch the sunset from. Way more off the grid than OIA. And there you go, that's it for today. I hope you guys liked it. See you in the next one. Bye.